Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to Casita Questions with our man Elias. So a lot of questions have been coming in about the project, about the casita.
Okay.
And I thought it would be fun to just kind of take you through some of the questions people have had.
Yeah.
I've tried to answer some of them, but I think you're better equipped to answer others. So we're going to do a few project questions,
Okay.
some casita questions,
Sounds good.
and we'll help the people out there if they're interested in a
Okay.
casita. Before we begin, you've just opened your calendar for 2026. So if you have been desiring una casita, something beautiful for you, I'm going to leave all of Elias's information down below, and you can also contact him for your very own casita. It is downpouring today. It is atrocious. And so we're here under a tarp, and this is like the perfect weather to answer some questions. It's so funny. I was on a property yesterday, and the building manager was asking me to bid out more work, and he's like, "Oh, well, we should probably do this before all the rain set in." And I was like, "No, son, we work
Gonna get rain
rain
tomorrow.
or shine. Like if we didn't work in the rain,
Yeah.
I don't think we'd have a job."
No. Yeah, that's kind of the thing living on the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
If you live here, you know that you have to work on the rain. So that's kind of
Totally.
the,
And
and
you
we
know,
get used to it.
you get used to it, and
Yeah.
I feel like I always just put on all my rain gear, and
Yeah.
you kind of get warm and toasty as you're working. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
Yeah.
So you have to just wear something comfy and then just feel comfortable and go from there.
Are you ready for casita questions?
ready.
Okay, excellent. So the
Okay.
very first question was from Kathy Brown Eyes. She says, "Can the sealer Elias recommended be used on cement that has been down for some time? Loved your conversation with him. Always look forward to your videos. Thank you." Okay.
Oh.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah. So I will link the video that she's referring to down below, but it was another one where we got to do a little Q&A, and you recommended your favorite sealer.
Yeah, it's the 8700 sealer from Sherban. Yes, you can definitely use on on the concrete. It's been there for many years. I would recommend just pressure washing and let it dry for a couple of days, and then you can apply the sealer. And by doing that, you're extending the life to the concrete. And you might see a little bit of defected areas, but it's normal. It's just like they might stand out more once you apply the sealer. But yes, you can definitely apply it on.
Okay, so we actually didn't ever seal our pavers up front, and Brian and I were thinking of doing it. Do you feel like that's a very easy homeowner improvement to do?
Yeah, I feel that's pretty easy, and sometimes could be fun too
Okay.
for people to do.
Yeah.
Because you just go, for example, if you have a sunny day, right?
Yeah.
And you're just waiting to get outside. So what you do, just get a little pressure washer and then clean up the surface, let it dry, and then just apply the sealer. Applying the sealer only takes about, I would say, 30, 40 minutes
Okay.
to apply the sealer.
What's your favorite way to apply it? Is it with a roller or
With a sprayer.
with a sprayer?
Yeah, with a
Okay.
sprayer.
Okay.
Most of my sealers I apply with a sprayer.
Okay. Do you find that's the most even coverage?
Yeah.
And this is just with a handheld pump sprayer, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do you have a favorite brand?
I do. I do not remember the name though.
Okay, you
But
can send me the
more.
picture.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture. It's more a commercial. I use a commercial grade one
Yes.
because that one
Makes
I
sense.
sprayed a lot more. Like I do 2,000, 3,000 square foot pavers. I can do that in like 4 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's a lot.
it sprays pretty wide,
Okay.
and so that's why I like that one.
Okay.
But
great.
you can use any other one. You can find something at Home Depot or
Okay.
the near hardware store or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Good tip. So this next question is from Judy, and I feel like it's a question for both of us, and
Okay.
I'm curious to know your opinion. So Judy, she is saying, just wonder if you're going to have enough planting area now with the walkways. I love the paths, but it does cut down on your space for planting dahlias. Maybe you don't want a specific cutting garden anymore. Well, okay, that's I think is a really interesting question for a number of different reasons. But
Mhm.
I actually find that we have less pathways because I had a pathway in between every single one of those cut flower rows.
Yeah.
And now we have two just super
Oh, that's
intentional
right.
pathways.
Right.
Now, Elias and I work in a variety of conditions. So sometimes we're on a small city lot, and sometimes we're at like a big kind of acre property.
Yeah.
And I find that bed depth really depends on where we're working, don't you think?
Yeah, it really depends. I
Yeah.
would say the smaller flower bed that someone wants to have. I mean, it all depends on the property, how
Yeah.
much space you have, but the minimum is 2 feet.
Correct.
And you can still plant a small tree,
Yeah.
something linear.
Really
that
columnar, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
some
find we
shrub.
run into that 2 foot setback a lot if you're going between, say, the sidewalk and a retaining wall, a sidewalk and a rockery. That's where you get that 2 foot setback quite a bit.
Yeah.
I feel like I love minimum 3 feet. That's like my bare minimum that
Yeah.
I like to design with. Now these, and the flower bed we're standing in right now, this is what, 10 feet?
It's just 10 feet.
10 feet.
10 feet, roughly.
And then the middle bed is actually
Another 10.
another 10. And
Another
then I've
10
got
feet.
another probably 12 to 13 on the other side. It just doesn't look like that because we have the taxus planted.
Yeah.
But we actually
We
gave
have 5-footers and then
5 footers
probably
back
6
here.
foot. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have plenty of space
Yeah.
for trees and shrubs and
We
all
should give
that.
a tour through the whole garden. It's gonna be
think
fun.
So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really, really fun. I also just, by the by, I'm already shopping for trees, and I was like, oh, I've got to get trees here while Elias is still here. But maybe you can come back and help.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
Be more happy to do it.
Thank you. It's also Brian's workout plan. Brian is
Yeah, he's really buff. So
he's so buff.
Yeah.
He's
Killed
gonna apply
it.
to work for GMC. He's almost ready.
He's next year.
Next year. I feel
Yeah.
like he'll be ready next year, don't you
Yeah.
think?
We were ready. We were talking about some things.
Okay.
Ryan and I.
Okay,
so,
excellent. So maybe interning this year, and then next year maybe a job.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. Brian. Last week you were crying in your soup, and I was like, you're not ready. You're not ready for GMC. So 2 people had questions about berms. The first one is, have you considered adding soil to create a berm situation in the island bed in front of the studio? So they're talking about what will one day be the meadow. So they're talking about the planter bed that's right behind Elias. And then another person actually asked about creating berms or terrace spaces on the journey through the garden. And so with both of those, I feel like berms have to be really intentional.
Yeah.
And I get concerned in our region about water runoff. How
Yeah.
do you feel about that?
Yeah, I do feel concerned too. If we don't have a place for the water to go,
Yep.
I think it's nicer to stay with a natural flat ground.
Yep.
And just like have all the water disappear in the same
Yeah.
area. That's kind of my way of thinking too.
I would agree with that. I also, the other thing to kind of take into consideration is when you and I do a project, we also talk about if we're unintentionally redirecting water towards a neighbor,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't think about how their landscape will impact the neighboring
Yeah.
boundary lines,
right.
which is a huge thing. So if you're doing a project on your own, that might be something to take into consideration.
Yeah.
But we actually, I will link the video below where I show my new little seated rock area. But one of the kind of reasons I did that is I did want to create more elevations within this landscape, so it felt more dynamic and interesting. Okay, so the next question is from WL Wise1. Love that name. Just lovely as expected. May I ask where you purchased the walkway pavers from? Is this something that might be available nationwide or a local company? If not available, would you mind forwarding the measurements? Thanks in advance to space the pavers 4 inches apart. Really good to know. Okay, so this person is talking about, I think, the stepping stones that we used up top. But I think we should go through and talk about all of the products that we used, because I think it's important for people to have resources. So for the pathway up top that this person was talking about, we used leftover product. It is a black basalt 2-inch tread.
Yeah.
So it's, you can't see
18 by
it.
24s.
18 by 24. So it's actually a really big black basalt tread, and it has a thermal finish on it, which is really nice. But I want Elias to talk about the base prep, because this is really important. If you don't do base prep, your pathway will tilt.
Yeah. So you wanna prep the base with 3 to 4 inches of gravel. When it's only stepping stones like this one, you can only have like 3 to 4 inches of gravel is good. Compact it. Run a plate compactor. Put some water on. Obviously here we don't have to because it's raining, but yeah. And then after that you use 1 inch of building sand. It's important to use building sand just over the fine sand because that's the building sand is going to stand more with all the heavy stuff on. So that's what we use.
What kind of gravel? Are you using quarter
Oh,
minus
I'm
or
sorry.
five
Yeah.
eighths?
For that, we use 5/8 minus compacted.
Great.
Yeah.
And 5/8 is wonderful. That would also be like a good driveway application.
Driveway application, it'll be good, but you have to dig deeper for a
Okay.
driveway.
Yeah.
A good 12 inches or more, depends on how the soil status is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the other thing is I actually use this same methodology. I'm not running a plate compactor. I'm usually hand compacting.
Hand
But
compacted.
when I
It
put
works.
a container within a garden bed, if I don't do this, within a couple seasons, your container is like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So whenever I want to place a pot into a landscape, I use the Elias method. So let's talk concrete.
All right.
We have, for our project, heavily used new stone.
New stone products.
And where are you sourcing this from?
I sourced this product from Side One, and New Stone. It's a new company that it's probably been out for like 3 to 5 years, I would say.
Yeah.
But it used to be Abbotsford, and so now they have a new product and a new name. So
Yeah.
it's New Stone. You can source those at Side One.
Okay.
Side One is nationwide, so you can
Great.
search Side One and go to them, and they can get all your project.
Yeah.
So,
And what's great is Site One delivers.
yeah, they do have a delivery
Yeah.
trucks that coordinate. They're usually 3 to 4 weeks out,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, they will definitely deliver for you.
And this is kind of another tip is when you're doing a project, if you're doing it as a homeowner,
Mhm.
make sure that you've decided on your materials well in advance of actually needing them because it may take a couple weeks to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So new stone materials that we've used for the greenhouse floor, we used Manhattan. And I think it's charcoal or onyx. I can't remember.
It's charcoal.
Is it charcoal? Great. And those are a 24-inch by 24-inch. So 2 foot by 2 foot.
Yeah.
And then we used a 6 by 12
For the driveway.
for the driveway. And the color is winter sky.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, I don't know, how would you call it? A jumbo Holland
It's
style?
a jump. Oh, it's a Holland style.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
Holland style.
And we
if
did-
you're familiar with the Holland, you know what that looks like.
Yeah.
And it's very similar.
And this is where we did that 90-degree herringbone,
Yeah.
which is really kind of the preferable treatment for a driveway. Next question. Every day is so much fun. I love that you're going to give that brick a special place in the garden. This was that little brick that we found down in the driveway.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, we're going to save it. This person says, have you mentioned what flooring is going in the casita? Also, are you installing heat and AC? Okay. Woo, a lot of questions. So
Yeah. We're almost prepared for AC.
we're
so-
almost prepared for AC.
Yeah,
I
'cause-
don't think we're going to prioritize AC in here. We'll probably do like a heating wall unit. So we have everything set where maybe one day we can add heating to this. We'll have to just kind of see. We might use a space heater for now. But in terms of flooring, Elias and I talked a lot about flooring. And the trick with a casita is, as you may guess, Elias and I wear a lot of dirty, muddy boots.
Yeah.
We're constantly tracking dirt everywhere. And
Yeah.
so having something that's easy to clean, I think is important.
Yeah.
And so we kind of talked and we've decided to do an LVP.
Yeah. Laminated floated.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're gonna use laminated floor for that. And I think it's easy to clean, it's waterproof, and it's
Yeah.
just the way to go. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with that. I don't know the brand that you're gonna use, but
We're going to figure it out.
yeah, that must be fun. So, but also in terms of the La Casita, it's insulated. All the walls are insulated, so it's not gonna be really freezing cold in there, or like it's
Excessively hot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
excessively hot.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be decent to be in there.
Yeah. And I do think that this was the other kind of cool thing is I was going back and forth in my head about flooring choices, but you have experience with the laminated planks that look like wood.
Yeah.
And you said like the waterproof is actually waterproof.
Yeah, because I have those at my house.
Great.
And so, I have 3 kids, and
yeah.
as you know, they dump water on. And
Yeah.
so it's easy that you don't have to run and just clean it right away. I mean, you're going to clean it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't absorb any water.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Because I think the other thing that we talked about is this La Casita is very functional. Like she's
Yeah.
going to be a very functional building.
Yeah.
And so we need it to stand up to the
Yeah.
elements.
We can't wait to have a video
I
when it's all
know.
finished.
It's going to
So
be really fun.
it's
I
gonna
want
be
to put
really
a
fun.
couple little chairs in
Yeah.
there, and we'll have another one when it's
I
all
already
done.
reserved to come and stay here for a
Yeah,
night.
exactly. Yeah. This is
So,
what Airbnb La Casita.
Airbnb like Casita. Yeah.
Okay, so this next question, there's a variety of ones in here, but in terms of construction, it did ask if we were putting gutters on, and we are, because if you don't,
Yeah,
you
you're gonna
end
have
up
dripping a lot of
along
water.
the backside. You basically have a giant drip line. So
Yeah.
your crew is going to put a gutter just on the back, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna put a gutter on the back,
Okay.
and with a downspout and
Yep.
one side. I think it's gonna be the lower side.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
And I was thinking, I haven't told you this yet, but I was thinking of putting a rain barrel over there.
Oh, okay.
Just because I think it's like nice to sequester some of that water
Yeah,
and
you
use
can
it.
definitely use it here on the garden.
Yeah, to water things in. So that'll be coming too, and maybe I don't know. We have to talk about a good source for a rain barrel. Maybe you have one. Do you have one?
Not at this moment.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we
we'll
will
figure it
report
out,
back.
yeah.
Oh, this next one is a great question. We have lots of strong feelings about it. The question is, what is the material you have used to fill your paths? Take it away, Elias.
So I have used in this specific project, we have used a quarter minus, and I usually get this from Cal Portland in Seattle, obviously. But you can use 5/8 minus. You can use 3/8. You can use some people use a clear gravel. It's all depends, what you want to walk on. I do feel that quarter minus is more easy to walk on,
agree.
clean. It doesn't, like all the pine needles, they don't go through the gravel, they stay on the top, so it's easy to clean or rake, whatever, blow it off, whatever you want to do. I feel that it's kind of the best way to go.
Yeah. And if you're doing a project like this at home, which I would imagine people can do a project like this, I think for me, the impactful things to know are run a plate compactor over it every time you do a layer of gravel, just to get it as firm as possible. And then also, we talked about if you aren't living in these conditions,
Yeah.
watering it down.
Yeah, watering it down. Yeah, so you have to run the plate compactor for sure, to make sure it's well compacted.
Yeah.
And don't do it at home. Call GMC and we'll do it. No, just
Call
kidding.
GMC and they'll come and they'll do it for you. You know, the other fun thing is I did quarter minus clean, but we've also used beautiful decorative gravel. We did a project recently where we did crushed bluestone.
Yeah.
It was this project was so good. We ended up doing giant dimensional bluestone steps and then anchored it down into place with that gorgeous dusting of bluestone. But to keep our costs down, you put in a base layer of 2 or 3 inches.
I put 2 inches of the 5/8 minus on the bottom, and then I come up with another 2 inches of the bluestone quarter minus crush, because that's significantly more expensive.
It is.
So,
and that's such a good thing to do. So if you are thinking, oh, I love this look, but I can't afford 3 inches of this, choose a very basic base layer and then top dress it with something gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah. And we actually left a nice reveal on our edging. We'll talk about edging in a second, because that was another question. So I could come in as budget allows and have some more gravel dreams. Yeah. So it kind of, basically this compacted gravel sets us up for so much success. Before we go into the next question, there was kind of a little bit of a follow-up. It says, how difficult is it to clean up debris and mulch off of this pathway material you chose? So I think we should talk about how we like to maintain it and then how we like to do kind of extra clean. You know what I mean? Because I think there's the daily maintenance or weekly maintenance. And then there's if you really make a huge mess.
Yeah.
And so when you're maintaining gravel, what's your preferred method?
So it all depends, if it has a bunch of leaves on, I'm gonna use the rake and rake cleaned up all the heavy stuff, and then maybe blow it off.
Yeah.
The rest.
Yeah.
And if it's just pine needles, like again, if it's too heavy, too thick, some people, if it's weekly cleaning, you might want to take the blower and blow it off.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
it's like a month or 2 or 3 months that you haven't cleaned the pathway, you definitely need a rake
Yeah.
and just rake all the thick stuff and put it on the bucket and then just blow it off the rest.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel.
And I don't feel like it's much more difficult to maintain than say a paver pathway, because a paver pathway, you're still going to have to rake it. You're still going to have to blow it. I think people are afraid that if they do a gravel pathway, it's going to be blowing gravel everywhere, which just kind of isn't the case.
No, it's not
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah.
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 It stays on the place pretty nicely together. So
Yeah.
yeah, I really like this product, and it's easy to work with, and anybody
agree.
can do it at home for sure.
I agree. I totally agree. And then what's also really fun is if you want to get out your rake, you can pretend you're like a Buddhist monk
Oh,
raking
that's
little
right.
patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very meditative.
Yeah, if you have a patio out of just this type of
Yeah.
gravel, you can definitely do that.
It's like it's very soothing for my brain. I don't know why. Okay, so next question. It says, could you post a link for the 1/4-inch steel pathway edging?
Oh.
Oof. Okay. So this is from a local supplier. Where did you get this one from?
So I get all my stuff from Specialty Metals.
Okay.
They're located. It's a local company here in Kent. They do a lot of industrial. Usually order it ahead of time, and I just go there and load up.
And if
But-
someone is ordering this, are they going to ask for just like 1/4-inch steel? Is there anything special?
It could be 1/4-inch regular steel or 1/4-inch corten steel. What like the corten is more like what you want to have.
Yeah.
So just corten steel.
Both of them are going to rust.
Yeah.
Corten just, it rusts to a certain point and then it stops.
Yeah.
So this will age out and it will rust.
Yeah.
In terms of cutting the edging, what did you end up using to cut it? Like an angle grinder?
You can use an angle
Okay.
grinder with those metal blades to cut metal.
Okay.
You can also use the little kind of it's more like a chop saw. You can use that if you have one. I mean, in this case, we use long pieces, so we want to cut it with an angle grinder and just wear some glasses and gloves.
Eye protection,
and eye protection.
always,
Yeah,
always, always. And I think with these pieces, these were 10 feet long?
20 foot long.
20 feet long?
Yeah, 20 feet long.
Woo.
Yeah, we have like 220 linear feet of edging in here.
Great. And then when Elias was working with them, we did want to keep it in these really long pieces
because you can bend them easier.
That's how you get your beautiful arcs.
Yeah.
If you're using like an off-the-shelf product, they're going to be smaller and you're not going to get these same sweeping curves. Other question. Can you talk to me about, we use these big pieces of steel, but how did you actually affix them into place?
Okay, so there's a couple ways to fix them in place. Like I'm not a welder and I can weld some stuff, but to have a 110 welder, it's kind of hard and it's pretty expensive to have.
Yeah.
If you're not using it like a lot. So you can weld them in place and do like a little L underneath and then just put a metal stake going down.
Okay.
My method is using this PVC stake. So this is a stake you want to use. I make those because when I do my decks, I get all the stuff left over and I just splice it in all something usable. And then I use metal screws, self-drilling screws, and that's how I get my edging down.
Yeah, and I like that you use a really long stake because depending on where you're pounding the stake into, like our soil is really sandy, and so we had to go really deep to get it anchored in place. So
I remember I brought in some 12-inch, 18, 16s, and 24s, and some of them even 28-inch.
Yeah.
So we were using a lot of different sizes.
What is next for the Casita? Because I did let you make some decisions because I depend on you for some of your knowledge and your decision-making ability. And so talk to me through the siding. Did you even have any question in terms of what product you would reach for?
Yeah, so we're using this is called lat siding, and it's the smooth finish. It's the 1/4 inch. It's a Hadi board. It's made out of Hadi board. Um, we like to use this because I think it's gonna last like over 50 years. We're gonna finish the siding and then put the gutter, and then we'll come inside and install the floor, and then install the sheetrock,
Hmm.
and then start modding and getting ready for paint. So
And then in terms of the roof, this is another decision I had nothing to do with. I was like,
yeah,
Elias, this is your show. So talk to me about the roof. What did you choose to do up there?
we have 35-year shingles in there. They said those shingles are rated for 50 years. They warranty them for 50 years. I'm not gonna go into that because I don't sell the product, but yeah, we use that, and we use drip edge, 2-inch drip edge, all the way around, and we have the rain guard underneath the roof, and we have the fascia around it. The fascia is all cedar finger jointed, so it's gonna last a long time. Even that it's exposed to the rain, that stuff, it can last like, I would say 35, 40 years
Perfect.
with that fascia in there. I mean, I have seen it like where they last like, you know, 35, 40, 50 years. At my house, it was 50 years. They never replaced it. So until I got there. So
Oh,
it's a really,
seriously?
yeah, cedar, it can go a long ways.
So, Elias, thank you for spending a very rainy afternoon with me answering Casita questions. This is honestly a dream come true for me to have a space where you and I can have meetings, I can film, I can work. Like this is beyond. So, thank you for helping me make this dream come true.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, Kate. And I think for meetings here, if I have a meeting with you here, I'm just gonna be excited to be in here. Like, yeah, I'm always gonna try to rush to the casita. So,
Oh.
but yeah, it's my pleasure,
Yeah.
and so we're happy to help at any way. So,
Thank you. And if you would like to sign up for your very own casita, I will leave Elias's contact information below. And thank you so much for coming along. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. And in the meantime, say hello to your garden for me.